Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for all the support recently. This channel's going really well, and if you like and subscribe, it only motivates me to keep going. Today's topic is more complex than you might think. It's so integral to every English sentence, we make our plurals without thinking. But it isn't the same with all languages. Some don't express it at all. For example, Mandarin doesn't have a plural. The noun never changes. One plate, two plate. Some plate, many plate. The numeral or determiner tells me how many plates there are. Why do we need to make a fuss about the form of the noun? That's the thing about language. What seems perfect in one will seem out of place in another. What seems simple in one will be complicated in another. And there's little that's simple about the English plural system. For the layman, plural refers to any English word that numbers more than one. Actually, it's not any word, it's only nouns and pronouns. Or even verbs, if you count, wink, conjugations, which have to agree in number. But let's focus on nouns. So plural in English refers to any noun that numbers more than one. Actually, that's not true. English speakers also pluralize zero. For example, I don't have any plates. Plates is plural, even though there are zero of them. So English plural refers to any noun that numbers more than one or less than one, but not one. And we form the plural by adding s to the end of a word. Fork becomes forks, and spoon becomes spoons, but the pronunciation differs depending on the final sound of the singular noun. Forks ends in an S sound, while spoons ends in a Z. If the noun's final sound is unvoiced, p, k, the plural is pronounced as an S. If the noun's final sound is voiced, n, g, b, it's pronounced in the plural as a Z. One fork, k, k, two forks. One spoon, n, n. Two spoons. Oh, and we add es too, but only if there wasn't an e in the singular. So plate takes an s, but dish takes an es. Oh, and the second example added a syllable to pronounce the es. Dish, dishes. If the noun ends in one of six sounds, s, z, sh, ch, j, or j, like massage, we add an additional syllable. Plate isn't platus, because it doesn't end in one of these six sounds, but dish does. So, English plural refers to any noun that numbers more than one or less than one, but not one. It is formed by adding s or es to the end of nouns and only pronouncing it as an additional syllable if it ends in one of six sounds. But if the noun ends in a y, then we remove it and add ies. But that's only if the preceding letter was a consonant, like party, parties, ies. If the letter before the y was a vowel, we just add s, like key, keys. And that's it. Well, of course it's not. But that's as simply as I can put it without addressing the exceptions. So now for the exceptions. Some words from Old English change their spelling and pronunciation when they're pluralized. Knife to knives. Specifically, things like the final sound will become voiced, like the F to V, which then makes the S voiced as well. And some other Old English relics have retained their old plural forms, ox and oxen, child and children. And then there's those influenced by Old German and the umlaut system for forming the plural. Foot, feet, mouse, mice. There are some nouns, usually animals and liquids, that have no plural at all. One bread, two bread, one fish, two fish. But if you're talking about different species, then you can say fishes. Some nationalities or ethnic groups are pluralized. Americans, Russians. But some aren't. Burmese, Maori. There are nouns whose plural is a completely different word. Person. People. And I won't even touch all the exceptions and words we've taken from Greek and Latin. Is it octopuses or octopi? This is all to say, if English is your first language, be thankful it is. And be thankful you don't have to pound this system into your head as an adult. So what's happening here? English is the result of Anglo-Saxon, Celtic, Norse, Old French, etc., and relics from all of them remain in modern English. Many of the exceptions I listed are from Old English, which both came with their own rules, which complicated the system. The popularity of the S system was actually a simplification of the more complex system. The exceptions are just the holdouts. This means, shockingly enough, the current system is the simplified version. Looking at the S system, the three realizations of S as S, Z, or ES are phonologically the same, meaning we understand that all three represent the plural. Linguistically speaking, they are three allomorphs of one morpheme in different environments. The preceding sound is what decides how it is actuated. This isn't much different from noun declensions or verb conjugations in many languages that use different endings depending on the sounds of the base word. There are different sets of endings for Latin nouns, depending on the vowels. Oh, the noun you want ends in um? Then follow this set of endings, etc. Now for conlangers. Does your language have the plural? Let's start there. If it doesn't, how does it express that information? Through counterwords or determiners? Check out my video on determiners for more on that. If your language does have a plural marker, a simple system is likely too simple. Oh, just add an affix? Not likely. Maybe there are phonological distinctions, which are pretty common for Germanic and Romanic languages. So be sure to think the rules through. Or maybe the opposite, like in French. Usually nouns take an S, but it's rarely even pronounced. If you were creating French, which, side note, I'd call you a monster. French gets a pass because it's a real language, but you made all those exceptions by hand, you should be put away. But if you were creating French, you'd need to decide when the final S is actually pronounced. Google liaison for more on that. How many plurals does your language have? We're used to the one or more than one system, but there's also dual, which denotes exactly two of something, or the superplural, to express a specifically large amount. My favorite system is reduplication, where the noun or part of the noun is repeated. This would be like saying one book, but many book. This can also be used to form vocabulary, verb tenses, poetic speech, and a lot more things. I hope this video inspired something in you. The language I'm working on is almost to this stage, so I understand how overwhelming this can be. I'd say start with a simple rule, and hopefully an example will pop up that doesn't feel natural. Then you can make exceptions or conflate the rule to fit it. Please let me know in the comments where you'd like more explanation or tell me about your system. Like, subscribe. Bye.